presented by Fiberglass. Hey everyone, welcome to the Electric Supercar channel. This week we're going to try to make some motor mounts. Let's get to it. So after a lot of kind of looking and comments and things, I am going to mount the motor backwards. There were a couple people that mentioned that you can take off the inverter side. That would give a lot more room, but it would also make it so the drive shafts are unequal. So I kind of wanted to keep it equal, so I think we're just going to keep it kind of as is. I am going to shave those little brackets off to kind of bring it a little bit more towards the rear, give a little more clearance. I'm going to measure and look at some shapes and make up some motor mounts. So the rear already has kind of these rubber mounts, the motor mounts already on the motor itself. So really I just need a rigid structure to kind of attach it to the frame. Let's see if it fits better. Oh yeah. I think that'll work. Check the other side. Hey, come. There you go. Oh yeah. This is a lovely drawing of my motor bay. This is the Tesla motor. That is kind of the motor mount. And I've got these two on either side. This is kind of the top side of the rear suspension. And it's got two bolts on either side. And so what I'm thinking through is just what kind of support this needs. So the motor itself weighs 300 pounds. So again, that's the support it's gonna need from underneath. But I also put side to side, meaning if I'm cornering, essentially you're gonna have 300 pounds going that way or that way if you're cornering at like 1G. Also, if you hit a bump or something, that's going to be 300 pounds plus kind of a G. So there's probably more force or more support that's needed from underneath. In addition, when the motor wants to spin the wheels, it really wants to torque. So that's also kind of call it a vertical force that it needs to resist. So I'm going to do some support from both towers across the middle, give it a nice mount for the motor mount, and make sure it's got a lot of support up and down as well as left and right. Before we design our motor mount, I want to talk a little bit about geometry and how it helps with strength and performance. So here I've got a piece of paper. I'm going to set it here and put it about 2 inches or about 5 centimeters off from this edge. Here I've got a paper clip and I'm going to show you, I'm going to demonstrate how this material can withstand some force. We're at 7 and it's already bending quite a bit. So here we've got 10, and I would say that this is pretty well bent and not suitable to support this much weight. So I'm going to show you how geometry can really help more than the material. I'm going to take the same piece of paper but give it a different geometry and see if it can hold more force. So I'm going to put it in a round shape. So again, it's about 2 inches or about 5 centimeters off there. So there's 6 times as much weight, and it's not even really deflecting. So the secret is in the geometry. So again, same piece of paper, but able to support 6 times more and probably be like 10 times more just because of the geometry. So we're gonna go to the whiteboard and design what we want this motor mount to look like. So as far as strong shapes go, I think a lot of people have heard of an I-beam. Again, very strong. For us, we're gonna use our U-shape, which is also very strong. I've been sketching things out. These are kind of the mounts on top of the rear suspension. This is the motor and the motor mount. So I've kind of got some drawings here, sketches. This is what it would look like kind of from the back. So you kind of have this U channel and there's a little scoop out there. This is kind of what it looked like from the front. So the scoop out is because the motor has that little section that comes out. And right back there, that'll be kind of boxed out so the little motor mount can fit in there, and a hole that'll be able to kind of secure the motor mount. Make up a mold and lay some carbon fiber. All right, I think this is the plug I'm gonna go with. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put kind of a skim coat on of some plaster of Paris. I just need a little more firm substance for the plug so I can get lay up the fiberglass and it'll release from it.
Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love that
All right, today we have the InnoCraft Drizzle. So we're gonna use this one to spray our plug and our mold. That is really nice looking. I think they did a good job. So also this one comes with a regulator. So the product is designed with a beginner in mind, ensuring seamless learning curve. The scales and markings on the exterior, coupled with the quick start guide, make initial setup a breeze. So this is an all-in-one solution. So you'll receive all the essential accessories and common nozzle sizes. Oh wow, we got different air nozzles. 1.5. This is 1.7. I think on here is 1.3. All right, very cool, very complete kit. If you're interested in a spray gun, a really good setup for less than $100, I'll leave a link in the description below.
So bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
This paint gun did really well. That was some really thick stuff. I used the 1.7 tip and handled it like a champ. We'll go see what the plug looks like. So we'll let this fully set up and then we'll take a fiberglass mold from it. Oh, nothing like a little wind to mess things up. I totally forgot to wax this. I'm still gonna lay up my fiberglass, but I will totally destroy this plug, but at least I'll get a mold.
I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for
I forgot to put wax on this, so getting it apart, it may just destroy everything, which is fine. So I was able to kind of scrape things apart. Again, I forgot the wax, so this did not come out quite as easily as I would like, and there's just a couple spots that I need to touch up. I'll probably reseal this before I try to take the carbon fiber piece from this mold. All right, I've got this guy cleaned up, sanded, smooth, everything. So remind me, I need to wax this one. First, I need to figure out the, I'll call it the pattern or shape or cutout pattern of the carbon fiber. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of use some of this craft paper and just make sure I've got it to the right size, and I'll use that as a template to cut out several layers of the carbon fiber. Got a couple different cutouts here. This is going to be the main one I use. I'm not sure if I'll need these relief cuts or not. Depends on how well the carbon fiber stretches. But that goes around like that. That's very nice. So if I need those relief cuts, and even just over here, I've got this pattern. So it goes like that. So that'll kind of go over those relief cuts if needed. Here's another one. Go over the back side. So I'll alternate and do several different patterns, make sure we've got lots of strength. I'm now going to cut out those patterns in carbon fiber. I'm using the 3K 2x2 twill weave. Before I do the carbon fiber, I think it's best to try just some fiberglass, make sure that everything fits. So we'll do that first. All right, we're gonna see if this part can come off. I waxed things up, so in theory, it should come off. Oh yeah. Yeah, this side's got some that wrapped around, so I'm gonna grab something to cut that off real quick. Mold actually looks really good. This is where most of the time I end up destroying the mold. Here's my trial fiberglass part. Just want to show you some of the things that I need to fix. So I measured kind of this top place where I wanted it to lay flat. I got that measurement good. However, I chose to kind of round these corners, which is a really good practice for mold making and making parts. So that round makes it so it doesn't sit flat. So I'm going to probably just widen it just a little bit so it'll sit flat. The flanges that go out this direction and this wall here, it kind of just comes in too close. So meaning I need this wall to either extend out here or come back here. Either way, I need to do that so I can get a better place for the bolt. So what that means is changing up the mold. Well, we're close, but it's not gonna work. And I don't think the mold is something that I can just quickly modify. So I'm gonna start from the beginning and make a new plug and then a new mold. I sanded this one a little bit. It could be smoother, but it's kind of hard to sand on the inside of something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on wax. Got to remember the wax. But I'm going to put on kind of a thicker layer of gel coat before I put on the fiberglass for the mold. And that way, when I take it out, it'll be on the outside, so it'll be a lot easier to sand. Not too bad. It's actually pretty smooth. I'm gonna go ahead and trim it up and start sanding to make another part. All right, here is the second mold. Again, we're gonna do this with fiberglass to make sure it works. The first time did not work, so hopefully this one's better. Here's the fiberglass part. Gonna let it cure up, take it off, and do a test fit. There we go. There we go. Mold looks okay. All right, here's the part. Really didn't even trim it up, but sitting on the top of the mounts here. I don't know how well you can see that, but basically that's fitting on either side. I guess I really should have trimmed it up, but basically this is gonna trim up all the way here, there. So there's a wall that goes up here, wall that goes up there. And that'll go on either side of the motor mount. So I think this one's looking a lot better. I think we can go ahead and do carbon fiber. All right, I just waxed that one. I'm now gonna set up to make my vacuum bag and breather cloth and peel ply. Get this thing all ready for carbon fiber. I've got my carbon fiber piece in place. I got the holes drilled and everything's lining up just great. I thought I'd put kind of a little test load on it, just kind of make sure I can hang my own weight. And I'll say if I grab onto the backside here and I kind of like do call it a pull up, I mean, it is like, it's not moving at all. If I grab on this front side though, I don't know if you can see that, but it flexes quite a bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of do probably a wet layup, kind of reinforce around the back here, because again, when we got this one solid beam, it works really well, but where that beam's kind of interrupted, not so well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a wet layup, add some reinforcements. So I made a relief cut here. This is to clear part of the motor mount. And the thing I need to do is basically when I flex on this, this one wants to spread open as well as this part wants to kind of flex down. And in order to kind of get rid of both those, I'm gonna do a layer on top here as well as layer on back here. So I've got some pieces here cut out. I'll go ahead and put them in place and then I'll do a wet layup of the carbon fiber. So I've cut out some pieces of rubber, just with a little hole in it, and I'm gonna put those in between kind of the upper suspension and the newly made motor mount. Just kind of give it a little bit of cushion and also provide a layer of separation. I got this bolt through. These are in place but not tightened. So I'm gonna tighten them real quick, and I think that'll be the final fit. Done. Oh man, that is like a rock. Yeah, I'm really liking that. I think that does it. If for whatever reason this carbon fiber piece doesn't end up being a great option, I do have now a perfect template to make this out of aluminum. As far as a personal update goes, I have not yet found a job. Still kind of in the job market. Haven't found anything just yet. Hopefully something is just right around the corner. All right, that's gonna do it for this time. We got this carbon fiber motor mount, and we got the motor kind of halfway mounted, at least the rear motor. Got to work on the front motor and then the other half of the rear motor. It's got a lot more to do. I'm excited to bring you along. See you next time. Oh man, did you just look at the back of my head the whole time? Hey, bring me the sandpaper. Come, come, come. All right, that's my whole weight. Oh yeah.